morning here at the Milimani Law Courts, where we expect the trial of the murder case of former University Rongo student Sharon Otieno to formally begin here at the Milimani Law Courts. Already, Justice Jesse Lesitu is supposed to preside over this particular case, is already present in court. What we know is that we haven't seen the Migori Governor Obado, who is implicated in this particular case and was charged with murder alongside his two aides. We're talking about his former PA Michael Oyamo, alongside the former Migori County Government Clerk Caspar Obiero, who actually were also charged along the governor. And so we expect the trial of this particular case to begin in here at the High Court in Milimani. But even before the trial begins, remember that there was an application that was filed by Caspar Obiero, who is the former clerk at the county government of Migori, together with Michael Oyamo, Obado, former PA. They filed an application seeking that Justice Jesse Lesit disqualifies herself for this particular case. And this is what they stated. According to the two accused persons and who were also charged with murder, they say that they don't believe they will get a fair trial before Justice Lesit, simply because that she denied them to release on bond, and that was last year. And they argue that the judge was biased against them and they're unlikely to get a fair trial. And they stated that according to the statements that were presented, and if I may just go through the contents of that particular application, according to Obiero argued that he wasn't mentioned anywhere in the statements that were provided, outlaid by investigators, and yet the court denied him bond. And according to Michael Oyamo, who's Governor Obado's former PA, he argued that the court denied him bond simply because it stated that he will most likely cause public disturbance, but the court did not actually establish that he is able to cause public disturbance through previous records. And so the two accused persons, that is Michael Oyamo and Caspar Obiero, believe that they may not get a fair trial before Justice Jesse Lesit. They want her to disqualify herself from this particular murder case. And so before the trial begins formally, that particular application will be presented in court and it must be determined before the trial formally begins. And just to give you a recap about the case of the 26-year-old former Rongo University student Sharon Otieno, a body was found in Homa Bay County on the night of September 3rd and 4th. That was in 2018. And according to investigators, they established that the the sitting Migori Governor Obado was directly involved in this particular crime, together with his two aides, who are Michael Oyamo, his former PA, as well as Caspar Obiero, who is a clerk at the Migori County government, or rather was at that particular time. And remember that the Governor Obado was released on a 5 million shillings cash bail, but he was given terms and conditions which included, he was restricted actually to mention anything about this particular murder case in any gathering and in any forum. He was also restricted earlier on, before he appealed the bond terms. He was restricted from going anywhere near. He was actually confined to a 20 kilometers radius, and he was not supposed to go anywhere near Homa Bay County. But he filed an application seeking fair bond terms, and the court here was able to lift that particular barrier that had hindered the Migori governor from accessing some of his constituents who are in part and parcel bordering Homa Bay County, but he is still confined not to travel. Remember that he is also not allowed to interfere with witnesses. And talking about witnesses, we have a total of 24 witnesses lined up by the prosecution in this particular case. We expect that where if the trial will start today, the prosecutor to give his opening statement and just clarify exact how many witnesses he has lined up for this particular case, and also the prosecution is supposed to state which methods it's going to use in terms of what outlining some of the evidence which it stated earlier that it has watertight evidence against the three accused persons who are Okoth Obado, the sitting Migori Governor, Michael Oyamo, his former PA, and Caspar Obiero, a clerk at the Migori County government. And so after this particular statement from the prosecution, we also expect the defense team also to just respond to that opening remark from the prosecution. Remember, but apart from the trial of the 26-year-old former Migori, former Homa Bay County, rather former Rongo University student, that is the late Sharon Otieno. Apart from this particular case, we also have another high-profile case involving corruption, and this one implicates the former Nairobi County Governor, that is Evans Kidero, whose case now begins formally today. Remember that this is a separate case apart from the one that he was just arraigned here in court over 2 weeks ago, and we are talking about the loss of 200 million shillings at the county government at that particular time. So we have two high-profile cases expected to kick off here at the Milimani Law Courts, but all eyes are on the trial of the murder case implicating Migori Governor Okoth Obado, and already we know that Justice Jesse Lesit, who is presiding over this particular case, is already here present at the Milimani Law Courts, and we are expecting the other accused persons to just walk inside the court for this particular trial to begin.